Hi everyone. All right, so I had ordered Bee Gardens. This is their Timeless Magnolia palette. It is their latest palette that they had. Gosh, I'm trying to kill this gnat. I'm going to tell you that these are some beautiful, beautiful colors. The only thing about this brand and most brands that are clean beauty brands is that the formulation is usually lacking in a lot of areas. Okay, so I've already played around with the palette. I'll tell you the colors that I used and I'm going to swatch a few of them for you. Now, I already tried to do a video and let me just tell you, my arm is completely clean. They came off with just soap, plain soap and water. So, I mean, they're not going to stain your eyelids, which I really love. They are fairly pigmented. So, do you see that? Guys, did I get it? Y'all saw it, right? So anyway, they are very pigmented. My only fault with them is the fallout and a few of the newer colors. So let's, oh gosh, he's around. He's like a big one. All right, so on this eye, I have Graceful Glow, which is on the outer edge. And then I have Persevere and on the lid itself. So that's the two colors that I have on there. Underneath, which you can't even tell, is Ancient Arches, which is like a very soft taupe, which I just wanted to see the color. And basically I just covered it up with this color here and this color. So you can't even tell. On this eye, we have Blossom Veil, which I did as a lid and brow bone. And then I did Ancient Arches because this was the first eye that I did. And when you mix these two colors or you try to overlay the color, it just dilutes it. So it didn't really pay off on color when I had this and then I put this on top of this and it just kind of dissipated and disappeared and I couldn't see it. So that's why I went over to this eye so that I could see the color. So yeah, it's a pretty color. And then of course I wanted to play with Gilded Roots, and by seeing what they did on their website with their web videos and things like that, she would put her finger in these two colors specifically, and I followed that routine because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that because, you know, Charlotte Tilbury does it. There's a lot of people that do it. It's just an alternative technique to putting really glitzy eyeshadow on. Fortunately for this, you have to do it that way. There's a reason why they show you dipping their finger and then putting it on their lid. Because if you don't, this is what happens. All of that fallout, all of the glitter fallout, that's what happens if you don't do it that way with your finger. So that in itself, I was very disappointed. I think I got him. I swear I can feel him in my hand. That I was really disappointed in, that, you know, if I dip my brush in there, it's not going to work. I even tried doing a different kind of brush, not a fluffy brush, and it still did not work. So like I said, disappointed in that. What else can I say about it? It's not an expensive palette, so it is what it is. So I mean, 24 bucks, you can't argue with it for 9 colors. And they're 9 beautiful colors. They are actually beautiful colors. As far as lasting power, I have, let me get this sheet on there. Crap, I just put my nail in that. As far as lasting power, I have tried out their individual regular colors before, and they lasted pretty well all day for an 8-hour day. No touch-ups, no nothing. And I felt like they didn't crease that often, which I don't put anything on my eyes to like a primer or anything like that. So minimal creasing. They did perform better than I would say Suzanne Organics. That one creases a lot. So yeah, they are a little bit better in their formulation. When I was dipping my brush into the palette here, I did have a lot of fallout in the palette itself, so they're very soft. As far as the formulation goes, they're very, very soft. So let's get into the swatches. All right, going from lightest to darkest, I'm going this way. Like that. All right, so Blossom Veil is a light color. And it does show up very well. I will say for a light color, for that light color, it shows up very nicely. Ancient Arches is that taupe. So the color payoff is it's not a whole lot of color payoff in some of the colors, so you might be disappointed with that. Whispers of Old. So again, like, you know, very faint, very light, very faint. These are gonna be your mid-tone colors, you know, the colors that you lay down and then you put something in the crease. All right, gotta wipe those off. Then we're gonna go to Southern Charm. So this is gonna be that gilded looking pink. This one doesn't show up very well on the camera on me, but it's a nice pretty color. I've seen this color before, honestly, and it's got that pinky gold to it, which is really nice. I like it. It's not my favorite color when it's on my eyelid. It kind of makes me look sick. But on some people, it looks really pretty. Then we're gonna go to Graceful Glow. Love this color. This is my favorite color. If you could have any color in this palette, that's the one I would go for. I love that color. That's the color that I went for in my crease. And then Eternal Youth. Again, this is gonna be very brown, mauvey, taupey brown. It's also a pretty color, but it's something that would be very dark in my eye socket, and I just don't think that that's what I want in my eyes. I want my eyes to be a little bit more open. So that's why I always go for those rosy colors like Graceful Glow, because it just gives me that extra oomph because my face has changed because I'm older. And then we have the darkest of the dark, which is Fortitude. And that's absolutely dark. I mean, it's just a bold, I would say it's a bold, gosh, what is that? Fruit. It is a bold plum. Golly, I can't even think. It's a bold plum. Now, this is how I did it. I went Blossom Veil, Ancient Arches, Whispers of Old, Southern Charm, Graceful Glow, Eternal Youth, and Fortitude was the last one. I skipped these two because I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so we have Persevere, which is basically just a bright gold. It's got some pink undertone to it. It's almost like the Southern Charm, but it has a little bit more depth into it, and it's got a little bit more punchy rose gold to it. It's definitely a rose gold. And then we have the Gilded Roots, which is my favorite on here, which is where I did here. And it's a silvery color. Go. With chunks of glitter. Very, very chunky, glittery. And it's very pretty. So yeah, that's what these colors are. They are pretty colors. There's not a bad one in the bunch, but like I said, a lot of fallout when you dip your brush in there. You can't dip your brush into Gilded Roots, which is this one, the chunky glitter, without glitter falling all over your face, which is fine if you like that sort of look. I don't mind it myself, but not every day. And like I said, the colors are pretty. It's just the formulation is a little off for me. And you know, honestly, for a whole palette, it's not too terribly in price range, but as it's just for me, for keeping it for one color that I know that I'm definitely going to use, which is that one right there, which is the one that I have on. I might as well just try to buy one of their individual colors and just call it a day. So anyway, I hope that I can get my money back from Amazon, but if not, I'm okay if I'm stuck with the palette. It's fine. I just have to work around it, know how to use it, and yeah, I think it'll be all right. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this one, sticking around. Again, Honeybee Gardens, they're kind of a hit and miss on some of their formulas. I know they're trying to get their, not established because they've been established, but you know, they're just trying new things, and hopefully they will get more feedback, and instead of padded answers and saying, oh my gosh, it's so great. I think it's great. I just think it needs just a little work on some of the formulations for myself. For me to say it's an amazing palette and everybody should run out and go get it. But I think it's a nice palette. I think that it has a few hiccups here and there, but other than that, try it if you must. All right, thank you guys for watching this one. See you next one.